Hi, welcome to Fearcast in Shadow. Today we will be discussing the 2022 American horror thriller film called The Menu. The film starts with Tyler and Margaret waiting for the boat to arrive at Hawthorne, which is a fancy restaurant on its own private island owned by the famous chef Julian Slovic. There are a diverse group of passengers. One, a food critic named Lillian and her editor Ted, a once popular actor with his assistant Felicity, tech business investors Dave, Soren, and Bryce, and a wealthy couple, Richard and Anne. When Margaret sees Richard, she becomes visibly nervous and tries to avoid catching his eye. During the journey, the passengers are served with lemon caviar. The boat finally reaches the island where they encounter Elsa, the restaurant captain. Tyler was supposed to attend with someone else, not with Margaret. This led to her disappointment as she was unaware of this change. The 12 guests find themselves relaxing in a vast area behind the restaurant, absorbed in the island's atmosphere. They get a tour of the island. They are then shown the bunkhouse where all the staff lives. The group is then guided to the restaurant. According to the rules in the restaurant, Elsa asked not to take photos. Then Chef Slovic entered the scene and started serving to the guests. They were offered with amuse bouche, which is the first dish served to the menu cast on the island. Slovic claps introduces himself and shares details about the food. Trouble arises when Tyler, unable to resist, interrupts the chef. He gets scolded. As well, he takes photos of the meals while it is prohibited. The story is divided into courses, reflecting the structure of the meal. Chef Slavic introduces the first course, symbolically named the island. Second course is breadless bread plate. Guests are surprised with its absence of bread featuring only savory delights. Tyler enjoys it, but Margaret takes offense, finding it insulting. Moving on, Chef asks Margaret to eat, but she refuses to eat and let the chef know that she will eat if she wants. Meanwhile, the mysterious old woman appears, lacking any food at her table, only a glass of wine. Then Anne asks from Richard about Margaret, and point out to Richard that Margaret looked like their daughter, but Richard refuses it. Shortly after, the chef introduces the next course called Memory, revealing that the old woman is his mother, Linda. He shares a dark childhood memory. His drunken father once harmed his mother. To protect her, the chef, as a kid, stabbed his father in the thigh with kitchen scissors. He always regrets not to aiming for his throat. As mentioned, the third course is the memory. It's chicken tacos with scissors in it. Then things start to get weird. The guests soon find out the tacos contain personal pictures or documents of each guest. As such, the tacos expose the secrets like Richard cheating on his wife, Tyler's dinner snapshot, and Tech Brothers' tax fraud, adding a strange twist to the night and also uncovering Julian's mysterious motives for choosing as a specific guest. The next scene shows that Margaret heads to the hallway where there is a silver door. Before she can enter, Elsa appears and offers help to find ladies' restroom. The chef enters the room and asks why Margaret did not eat the food. She says she is not hungry. The chef asks who is she and why she is here, saying you are not supposed to be here. Margaret was the last minute replacement and he wanted to know more about her. Then Margaret leaves with a confused mind and returns to her table. The fourth course is called the mess, symbolizing the pointless chase for perfection. The meal includes pressure cooked vegetable, roasted fillet, potato confit, beef juice, and bone marrow. Julian Slovic's under chef, Jeremy, a crucial figure, starts the course by shooting himself. He will never be good enough to be at chef's level, as explained by the chef Slovic in his speech, and his body is taken away. As all become panicked, Richard tries to leave, but Elsa stops him. As a warning, the staff cut off his left ring finger. But Tyler remains strangely calm, casually eating his food without showing any sign of panic. Moving forward, Elsa invites Margaret to the kitchen. The chef questions her identity and let Margaret know that all going to die tonight. Chef asks, "Do you want to die with those who give or those who take?" Giving her a timer, he allows 15 minutes to decide. Margaret returns to her table. Then tea is served as a palate cleanser. Then it shows Soren's attempt to break a window with a chair, but it's unbreakable glass. Then the chef reveals that Doug Verrick owns both the restaurant and the island. Since the restaurant is chef's entire life, Doug Verrick owns it. Through the window, they see Doug Verrick wearing angel wings, hand tied, held by a pulley over the sea. Chef mentions Doug had questioned his menu, asked for substitutions, and they used him to get the information printed on the Tech Brothers tacos. Doug is slowly dropped into the sea, left to drown. Doug Verrick is the Tech Brothers' boss, so he is almost certainly involved in their tax fraud. He also funds the restaurant, making life hard for the Hawthorne staff. Keeping it open during COVID, seen as helpful, actually shows he doesn't care much about their health. Margaret's timer rings, and she goes back to Chef's office. He asks about her decision, but she has no answer. Then the movie hints that Jeff knows something about Richard and Margaret. Story is Richard hired Margaret wants to pretend to be his daughter to do weird things. It matches the picture and got in her taco, showing Margaret with Richard. Later, the group is brought outside for their next course. The men are told they will be chased and get a 45-second head start to run and find a way out. After 45 seconds, male servers join the hunt in the woods. Women are led back inside. Once found, the men are beaten and brought back inside, which hints that surviving from there is impossible. In the next scene, the chef reveals to Margaret that Tyler wasn't surprised by the events because he knew in advance that everyone would die. This makes Margaret angry, and she responds it by punching Tyler's face. Soon after, the chef notices Tyler claiming to be a great cook at home and invites him to make the next meal. Tyler is taken to the kitchen, given a timer. Tyler plates the dish, but Chef was not happy with it. In a whispered conversation, the chef shared something with Tyler. Then the chef informs the guest that there is one course left, but a barrel is missing. He asks Margaret to bring it from the smokehouse. On her way out, Margaret discovers Tyler is hanging dead in the chef's office. She starts head to the smokehouse, grabs a scaling knife, and notices the chef's cottage. Inside the cottage, Margaret finds a silver door, but it is locked. Elsa appears, leading to an intense struggle. In the end, Margaret stabs Elsa to death. With the key, when Margaret enters the room, she sees an old photo of happier Julian Slovic flipping hamburgers. Noticing a radio shell, Margaret calls out for the Coast Guard. Then Margaret arrives to the restaurant with the barrel that was previously missing. Shortly after, a small boat arrives, and it seems like the Coast Guard is heading to the restaurant. The staff clean everyone's faces to conceal injuries. The Coast Guard arrive and mention hearing about a disturbance, but there is no response from anyone. After a while, the chef admits he is also a part of their group. The group is now told they are getting the final course. Without delay, Margaret shouts that she doesn't like chef's food and that she is starved. Asks the chef for a cheeseburger. Then the chef started to make the cheeseburger by himself. After trying a bite and enjoying it, she decided to take the rest. She asked the chef whether it's okay to take the remaining food. The chef kindly gives her another whole cheeseburger, a gift bag, and expresses the gratitude. Margaret pays $10 and leaves. The chef allows her to leave and announces the final dessert. A cart made of marshmallows is placed on each guest. The floor is covered in chocolate sauce and graham cracker crumbs, and then the entire room is lit on fire. Margaret makes it to the Coast Guard's boat. It takes a bit, but she figures out how to start it. Finally, she sails back to the dock where she started hours ago. That's the end of the movie. As observed, Margaret is allowed to leave because she represents a connection to Chef Slavic's roots and remind him of the joy of simple, well-prepared food in the past. Hearthstone seems like a group that acts like a cult, all focused on worshipping Chef Slavic. The staff seemed to be mentally unstable. Apart from Margaret, the other guests were invited for various reasons. Tyler, who falls to pretend to be a food genius which Chef Slavic doesn't like. Ted and Lillian, known food critics, have a track record of closing down establishments run by genuinely talented chefs through their unfavorable reviews. George Diaz, the actor, he acts in high-paying but talentless films, disrespecting the art of acting. Felicity, the actor's assistant, who steals money even though she has enough financial stability. Richard and Anne, frequent visitors to Slavic's restaurant. They were invited because they couldn't remember a single dish they had. Finally, Soren, Dave, and Bryce. They have involved in a fraud, showing no respect for art or food, and use their influence to get whatever they want. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos. Until next time, stay scared. Thank you for watching.